You're burning calories, like your baby is literally like sucking you dry from like nutrients. Like that is actually what's happening. Like, a lot of my energy I have to focus on taking care of myself, and then there's the homestead. If I'm not doing those things, I'm resting, I am eating. And you go through postpartum, there's a lot of hormonal changes that happen, and it takes a long time for the body to become hormonally balanced. So hey everyone, I really wanted to make a video on why I have not worked out in almost a year postpartum. First off, I feel like I should say that this is my experience and this is what I've done that feels right for me. And if you're someone that's looking for another opinion on whether you should work out, however that word interprets for you, there are many ways to work out. But if you're someone that's kind of thinking like, oh, I should work out because I should work out, or I think it's healthy, or whatever your reasoning is, but you're just not feeling like it feels right for some reason, then keep watching because I think you'll find some value in what I'm about to say. So a little background on what working out was for me before I had my baby. I pretty much did any type of cardio workout you can think of for the last like 15 years of my life. And that's anywhere from walking, running, swimming, dancing, hiking, things of that nature. And it was around 2019 that I started lifting weights. So to me, that was like really working out, like really pushing my body with weightlifting. And I do have my baby in the background co-hosting, or co-starring, whatever you call it. So you will hear her giggling and laughing and playing. So lifting weights was like a really big difference in my working out that I started to implement in my routine. And I did that from 2019 up until I got pregnant. So I was doing that like maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week tops, on top of like hiking and uphill walking and things of that nature, and just walking in general. I did a lot of walking. And when I got pregnant, I decided, for other reasons, that I wanted to just focus on yoga and body weighted Pilates and walking. Those were like my 3 core working out types of exercises. And then when I had my baby, I went completely cold turkey. I did not do any type of working out whatsoever for like probably a month, where I was just like, I need to rest. I need to be in bed. I need to be focusing on learning how to breastfeed and taking care of my baby and take care of myself. So I did pretty much nothing for like a month. And then like, other than like, you know, those things, and like it said that you're not supposed to lift anything heavier than your baby for the first 6 weeks. Like that is pretty much a rule. And then if you have a C-section, it's the same thing, but for a little bit longer. And I finally started walking around like the 1 month where I started feeling comfortable getting out of bed. I was a little bit more rested and I could like move my body a little bit more. I was carrying my baby. I actually had a baby carrier. So the reasons why I have not worked out in terms of lifting weights, Pilates, like even body weight stuff, like I haven't done anything like that. Maybe a little bit of stretching here and there to like help my back and things like that. But I have not worked out for multiple reasons. And one of the main reasons that I've chosen not to work out is, if you guys are familiar with like how the pelvic floor works for women, the pelvic floor is a muscle. If I'm getting this right, basically it helps, like there's a lot of like sphincter control that goes on to it. It's like helps you hold your urine in and your bowels and all that. So your pelvic floor is like in that region. So if your pelvic floor isn't healthy, or like or strong or in shape, then you're going to have issues with like incontinence. You're going to have issues with leaking. And there's all kinds of things that can go wrong with that. I'm not a pelvic floor specialist, but I do know that especially when you get pregnant, after you have a baby, you can have stuff that happens with your pelvic floor, and you need to eventually strengthen your pelvic floor and get it back to, you know, functioning normal, if not close to normal. So I didn't want to put any extra stress on my pelvic floor other than like doing Kegels. I did Kegels a little bit after birth. I didn't want to put any stress on my pelvic floor because I'd given birth vaginally, and that puts stress on your body. Obviously, there's a lot of stress that goes into vaginal delivery and birthing and all that as well. So I wanted to really give myself time to heal in that area of my body. And if you're doing things like if you're lifting your baby, if you're just moving your body and you're walking, you're naturally strengthening your pelvic floor. This is all these are natural movements. Like even like gardening, you know, is a very natural movement. So there are things like that, but I feel like walking is the best thing that you can do. And if you can walk with your baby, that is the best thing you can do to naturally strengthen a lot of muscles in your body. So at about 1 month, I started getting more comfortable. So I was like doing a little bit more walking. I was also carrying my baby. My baby weighed 9 pounds at birth. So I was carrying 9 pounds of baby. And then around, like, you know, she's been steadily gaining weight and she weighs about 25 pounds now, maybe a little bit more. And it is 9 months now for postpartum. So I've been carrying my baby on my back, on my hip, forward carrying up until about 6 months. And so that is a lot of weight on me. That is like if your baby weighs that much, even if your baby weighs under 10 pounds, that's still a lot of weight during the postpartum period. So to me, you're still carrying a lot of weight. Okay. And also kind of leading into like other activities. It's not like I am not doing anything with my life. I'm very active during the day. For those of you who don't know me very well, or you're new to my channel, I live on a homestead with my husband and my daughter, and we're new in this area, so we're like establishing our homestead. But there's still a lot going on that I have to take care of on a daily basis around my house, outside. Like I have some livestock that I have to tend to. So, and it's a lot of acres. So to get my trash out to the curb, I have to walk like a couple minutes, maybe like a minute up the driveway. And then I have to throw my stuff in the trash and then walk back to my house. So there's a lot of movement that's going on in my life. So I wouldn't say that I'm like not doing anything all day. I incorporate different things in my life and different activities to make sure that I am still moving, that I'm still working certain muscles. So that is one reason. And then another main reason why I don't work out is I feel like a lot of my energy I have to focus on taking care of my baby. I have to focus on taking care of myself. And then there's the homestead. So I feel like a lot of the time, if I'm not doing those things, I'm resting or I am eating, but mainly resting. And then if I want to like get outdoors, I make sure that I get outdoors because as some of you may know, when you get pregnant and you go through postpartum, there's a lot of hormonal changes that happen, and it takes a long time for the body to become hormonally balanced. So during the first year or two, your body is still healing hormonally. You are still going through a lot during postpartum when it comes to those things, hormonally, physically, everything. It's all connected, right? Our mind. I'm a first-time mom, so I'm getting used to caring for my child and caring for myself. So resting, eating are two very important things that you need to prioritize, in my opinion, when you're in the postpartum phase. So definitely resting, eating, and getting outdoors, because when you get exposed to when you get exposed to the sunlight, you make vitamin D, and that also helps. Vitamin D is a hormone that we produce through sunlight, which is really amazing. Isn't that super cool? So as long as you're getting outdoors, you're getting your vitamin D, you're getting more, your hormones are getting more in balance. So I go outdoors and I'll just sit on the grass, and if they know what grounding is or earthing, that's another way we can kind of, I guess, get, from what I understand, it's a way to help ground, and can also help with your hormones. Just getting outdoors, getting in the fresh air. So I prioritize getting outdoors, getting sunlight. And if I feel like I have energy, I will go for a nice, long, relaxing stroll. That can be anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, but I'm not like pushing my stroller, like trying to get a workout. I'm just like, I'm strolling. I'm just cruising. I got my little baby in the stroller. Like I might be listening to music, or I might be talking to a friend. I have this little series on YouTube now where I'm like walking and talking and chatting and like telling stories or something. So I'll be doing a lot more of those when the weather gets nicer here. And so I'm just cruising on those walks. I don't focus on working out. I don't want to break a sweat. I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. I don't challenge myself going up too many hills these days. It's just to get outside, get in the sunlight, get some fresh air, get my baby outside, get her sunlight. She needs all that too. So that is my main focus when it comes to getting movement in. So I'm going to look at my notes. I feel like I want to just make sure I get everything. So when it comes to energy, your body is your body is doing so much, and I breastfeed. So there's so much energy going into breastfeeding. So I'm like, not only am I getting used to caring for this child, caring for my baby, caring for myself, taking care of my home, trying to get outdoors for at least a half an hour to an hour a day when it's nice out, grounding, taking care of little chores here and there. I'm also producing breast milk, and I'm like trying to balance my hormones. So there's so much going on, you guys. Like I physically I don't feel like I want to prioritize lifting weights again. Not yet. I mean, maybe one day I will, but right now I can't prioritize that. And if when you're breastfeeding, you put out, you're burning calories, your baby is literally like sucking you dry from nutrients. That is actually what's happening. So you need to restore your nutrient, your nutrient stores. You need to restore that. So if y'all know, if you've been pregnant, that hunger is I've never experienced before in my life. Breastfeeding is almost the same. It's pretty close, it's pretty runner up when it comes to hungry. And then you just don't feel good if you're not eating enough. You're not getting your iron in, you're not getting enough fat or protein, you're depleted, and you need to, keep building those stores, right? And your baby's taking all that too, they need it too. So I'm constantly eating, right? When I can remember to eat, I actually have to remind myself I need to eat, or else I won't get good sleep at night and I'll be cranky. And so when you work out, you need extra calories to work out. And I'm just how much food do I have to eat? And I don't feel like I want to prioritize that. And that is where my energy is going. I can't really prioritize that. And I feel and this is no, judgment or shade to other mothers who choose to work out. If it's something that makes you feel good, you might not live on a homestead and you need some extra extra oomph during your day or a workout or whatever, that is totally up to you and your choice. But I feel a lot when I see other people online doing a lot of these workouts and like, you know, adding all this and staying up late or whatever have you, I feel like, here you go. Here. I feel like I see a lot of these mothers drinking like energy drinks and coffee and stuff like that. And I don't drink coffee. Like I'll have it like maybe once in a blue moon to like have as a treat, but I don't like the way that coffee makes me feel. I feel like I don't get as good as sleep. I'm really sensitive to caffeine, so I don't like drink green tea or anything like that. It doesn't make me feel good. So I feel like a lot of these other women or mothers are drinking this extra stimulant to like be able to have the energy to work out, whereas they might not have it naturally. So that is my opinion on that. Again, like do what makes you feel right. But I just feel like maybe if I did drink coffee, I would have extra energy. But I just feel like I have already so much going on in my day that I cannot like, and I don't want to, like, I don't have that, I don't want to like take that block of 30 minutes to an hour workout instead of like doing something else. I don't know. It's just kind of my priority right now. And I feel like, and this is another opinion, I feel like a lot of people want to push this like bounce back culture, this bounce back to your body, to your old body or whatever. Let's be real. Your body is never going to be the same again. Your body has changed. Could be for the better if you want to look at it like that. Your body has completely changed from having a baby. And trust me, like sometimes this is hard for me to like, you know, accept because sure, maybe there were like other ways my body looked better or that I liked beforehand. But again, like it's just mentally, it's not really my priority to like bounce back to what I used to look like because that's probably never going to happen again. I could, you know, have a goal to look a certain way or an aesthetic or whatever, but I feel like bounce back culture is BS and we are, I feel like slowly moving away from that and like accepting what our new body or physique or person is after we give birth. So that's just my opinion. And also like in tandem with that, I feel like a lot of people are just trying to sell people stuff and, you know, whatever, make your money, but you shouldn't feel like because somebody is saying that you should do something or trying to sell you something or whatever, that you should do it or that you need to look like them because they're doing it. There's a whole thing with body image in the fitness industry that's like really messed up and I disagree with it. I disagree with a lot when it comes to like conventional working out and eating and all this stuff. So, but that's a whole other topic. I also wanted to throw in there that, you know, with all different body types and whatnot, for me, my situation was I felt like I was at a pretty good healthy weight when I first got pregnant. And I stayed like pretty consistent with, you know, with my weight throughout pregnancy. Like I gained consistently. I started around like 150 and then I gained about 50 pounds. So I was like pretty much at the 200-pound mark right before I gave birth. And then just for reference, like this is just for reference. So it was around, so I birthed my baby in March. And then I went in for like a physical in November. So it was like end of March, and then to first week of November that I had pretty much lost all of my baby weight, if you will. And however, my weight is like totally differently distributed. And that I feel like I also lost some muscle and like I put fat on in different areas, right? So obviously like weight looks different and like muscle looks different and all this stuff. But I think that's very interesting because I didn't do any working out. I still haven't. It's been 9 months and I haven't done any working out yet. I still like went right pretty much back to what I weighed pre-baby, but a different like distribution. So I would also attribute that to my diet. That's a whole different thing. But just a little tidbit. I don't eat much carbohydrates in form of like processed food, and like I'm not perfect, but I really try to focus on like making my own food from scratch as much as I possibly can. And I'm pretty much in the kitchen like every single day, pre-make food and all that stuff. So that's a whole different video. If you want to hear about that, I can absolutely make that for you guys. But I think that's really interesting. No working out, just doing what I mentioned, like light stretching, light walking, carrying my baby. I still carry my baby on my back. And that was my result. So in conclusion, do what makes you feel good. If you want to work out, if you want to do all that, like that is totally up to you. I feel like you should do what makes you feel good. I will say I advocate for getting fresh air, getting sunlight, okay, moving your body in like a fluid way. Like you could dance. Like sometimes I just like to turn on some music and I'll just like groove out a little bit, like I think it's good to get like the blood moving. I'm not saying like be stagnant. We don't want that, right? Do some stretching, but I feel like the mentality of like, I need to work out, I need to like get my body back, I need to, get a hard sweat in or whatever, like, especially when you're so fresh in the postpartum, like, I disagree with that. So prioritize, fluid, like movement in the body, walking, like getting outside, fresh air, like focus on those things. Focus on getting your body, your hormones in balance. And there's a lot of people online talking about that now, which I think is great. There's plenty of resources for that. And like get your baby involved with, those things. Get your baby outside and go for walks and things like that. So that is my opinion. I really hope that you enjoyed what I had to say, or that this video gave you some value. And again, do what makes you feel best. Do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, that is what matters. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and see you in the next video. Bye.